Buen día. Voy a explicar la gramática 8.1 y 8.2, pero en dos videos diferentes. Pero voy a usar el mismo PowerPoint para los dos, pero voy a hacer dos videos diferentes. La primera parte, 8.1, es sobre los verbos que cambian en la raíz, que ya hemos hablado de los verbos ar e ir, que no cambian en la raíz en el pretérito. Entonces, solamente los verbos ir van a cambiar. Okay, so we talked about how AR and ER verbs that change in the present will not change in the preterite. It's only IR verbs that will make the change in the present, that will also make the change in the past. Okay? Another thing that's different is that instead of four kind of changes, which we saw in the present tense, that we had E to IE, E to I, O to UE, U to UE, in the preterite or past, there are only two changes. It's either going to be E to I, O to U. You saw these same kind of changes happen with the present participles, those that end in ando or iendo. For example, durmiendo or prefiriendo, repitiendo. You saw those kind of changes in 101 when we did that present perfect, or not present perfect, I'm sorry, present progressive tense. Okay. Now, many of you were already in my course in 101, and we talked about these stem changing verbs also being called shoe verbs, that in the present tense, everything that was within the shoe will change. However, in the preterite tense, it's only the sole of the shoe that will change. In other words, usted, él, ella, and ustedes, ellos, ellas are the forms that are going to change in the preterite. And so here we can look at dormir. So, yo dormí, tú dormiste, nosotros dormimos. And you can kind of see it makes an odd looking, maybe a clown shoe. But the sole of the shoe, the él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, ustedes forms are the only ones that are going to change. So it becomes él durmió, ellas durmieron. Now, other verbs that are common are verbs like preferir, pedir, vestirse, repetir, dormir, and dormirse, sentirse, servir, and seguir. Now, when we have two vowels, let's take, for example, preferir, it's actually going to be the middle one. So the prefirió. So the second E in English, in Espanol, A. So right here is where you're going to be making that change. Same with repetir. Okay. Now, on the next slide, I'm going to have you pause the video, and I want you to write out what the verbs are according to their subjects. Okay. Las conjugaciones de los verbos con un cambio en la raíz conjuguen los verbos en el pretérito según su sujeto. So I want you to take a moment, pause this video, and write out the forms. You need to pause the video. Okay, so I'm going to now review the different forms of these verbs. So hopefully you have them all done. So yo almorzar is almorcé. This again is a stem changing verb in the present, but it does not change because AR and ER verbs do not change. However, it makes a spelling change. Don't forget that Z changes to a C. Almorcé. To pedir, pediste. Tu is not part of the sole of the shoe, so it will not change. Rosa repitió. Okay, Rosa, ella, she is part of that sole of the shoe, so that changes I to I. Repitió. Los niños volver. Volvieron. Again, volver is a stem-changing verb in the present, but it's an ER verb, so it does not make that change in the past. Ellos durmieron. Being an IR verb, it makes that change O to U. Carlos conseguir, consiguió. Carlos consiguió. Yo sacar, not a stem-changing verb at all, but it does make a spelling change. Saqué. Okay. Sentirse, Alberto, sentirse, se sintió. Make sure you have those accents on the right places, and repitió, consiguió, se sintió, that it's over the O. Maribel vestirse, se vistió. Yo vestirse, I'm not the sole of the shoe, so me vestí. José prefirió. Tú dormiste, because you're not part of the sole of the shoe. But Carmen is, so Carmen siguió. Ellas, pedir, pidieron. Now leer, just like sacar, is not a stem-changing verb, but it is a spelling change, so I wanted to remind you. Ellos leyeron. Okay? So hopefully you have a better understanding of the stem-changing verbs in the preterite.